to 9 is to try and encourage those businesses to stay open later, and then encourage people to get in the habit of coming downtown after work to spend their money or to spend some time. And if it makes more sense to do it on a Saturday and where more businesses are going to be open and making it business friendly, it's to help the businesses and give people a reason to come down. And so if more businesses are open, it could be on a Saturday. So that was another idea that we talked about. Right now it's a cost to participate, and we advertise in the Herald, and maybe there are some other advertising venues that we can do that is either lowers the cost for the businesses or is a no cost to the businesses. Make it easier for the businesses to participate, because I would be crazy to say that $25 doesn't matter to these businesses. It does. And if they could take that $25 and give $15 to a high schooler who plays the guitar and all of the songs that he knows and loves, or we know and love, in, let's say, Miss Adeline's,
Something for the 80s, right, Greg?
Journey.
There you go.
Never going to live that one down.
That's the 70s. That's the 70s.
But that if they could be using that money in a different way, it might be a good way to make it more attractive for them to participate. So, like I said, I didn't talk to all of the businesses, just the ones that were at this merchant meeting. And I think it should be a kind of timely conversation, so that as we get into the summer months and it gets more and more beautiful down here, that we're really doing the best to invite people down. I had a volunteer say, well, I've never been to First Friday. And I said, what are you talking about? You've never been to First Friday? She goes, well, I've never gone. I thought it was just for city, people like you and like the mayor. I said, no, sweetie, it's for people like you and your husband. And so
We definitely make it more exciting.
you,
Certainly do.
Yes.
you are the downtown
You're
draw.
driving customers away.
Wow. All right.
Okay.
But so just reaching
Too
out
many
in
photo
different
walks.
ways, moving forward.
Put the
Okay,
mayor in a
thank you.
dunk tank.
Next item.
Is that, okay. The Clackamas County Main Street Program has longtime Main Street manager Patty Webb on a contract to go out to 5 different communities through May and June to talk about basically best practices and ways that they can be applied in the different communities. So on Tuesday, June 18th at 6 p.m., Patty Webb will be in Canby. She's going to share insights on how to engage volunteers, how to ensure that all committees are active, whether that's as a committee or as a task force, and best practices for Main Street. And this training is open to everyone, whether you're a volunteer, business, or anyone who just wants more information on the Main Street program. I am hoping to have this at the community room, and that information hopefully will be available tomorrow on our Facebook page and website and electronic newsletter.
Community room at the police department?
Yes, which is 1175 Northwest 3rd Avenue. The Highway 99 banners, which we've talked about for a very long time, have finally been hung. The banners include downtown experience, taste, mingle, and play in different colors throughout the downtown core, which is between Ivy and Elm Street. And this is a way to help market the downtown commercial district to motorists who might normally just drive through our town. So hopefully the little extra pop of color will help to attract some attention and see that we've got a lot of great things going on down here. The Canby banners were also rehung or readjusted throughout Highway 99. So we have full banners along Highway 99 now. The Downtown Flower program, the Downtown Canby received a color boost from hanging baskets on 1st and 2nd Avenues and dahlias planted on 2nd Avenue between Ivy and the cinema. On May 9th, the flower baskets were hung. They were created by students at Canby High School as a part of a partnership between the high school and the city of Canby. The Main Street program coordinates the Downtown Flower Basket program. And then on May 15th, the city of Canby and the Canby Livability Coalition, Swan Island Dahlias, and Eccles Elementary Lunch Bunch gathered on 2nd Avenue to plant the dahlias and petunias in the planters between Ivy and the Canby Cinema parking lot. And the reason that we do not have flowers between Ivy and Grant this year on 2nd is because the water source will be compromised. And so we're thinking about some ideas that we can spruce up those planters, but we have the great banners that are hung right there at this time. And that concludes my report, unless you have any questions.
Mr. Chair, I do have one question. The banners on 99,
Yes.
were those up last year? They looked, did we talk about these last year? They looked very familiar when I saw them up.
They-
I was talking about new banners. Is it deja vu?
They were, we had we ran into a little issue with the sizing, and so they had to all be resized. So they were presented last
Okay.
year, and then we had to have them all resized, which became a process. So they're just being hung now, but all
Okay.
between the same fiscal year.
Okay, so I did see that.
Yes,
Okay.
you're not dreaming it.
All right. I thought, if I'm dreaming this stuff, I'm doing this too much.
Or
Okay.
if you're dreaming it, you should give me the ideas
Oh,
so that
well,
we
there we
can
go.
make some cool things happen.
All right.
Sure.
Thanks, Jamie.
Will those, the downtown specific banners stay up when the banners for the rodeo, fair and rodeo go up?
I think the fair and the rodeo ones only go down by Pine. Yeah, but
They-
is,
Down that direction.
Yeah.
Not on the main street, not on downtown.
Well, no, I was talking like, so on 99 where it's got the play.
Right.
All those.
I'm not
'Cause I
exactly
thought the
sure.
rodeo
Last,
ones ran all of 99.
The rodeo,
They had rodeo and fair banners. I thought they ran all of 99.
I think they do.
and I'm not sure because they weren't able to put them up last year for one reason or another, I believe.
Well, I guess my hope is, or maybe recommendation, is that we leave the downtown ones up when it switches over to the rodeo, because then I think the contrast
Even more so.
might create more of a stark,
Yeah.
eye-catching approach.
Yeah, and I can contact Lori about that.
And that's just from an aesthetically challenged male, just an idea.
No, but even more so than having the Canby banners, I agree, and I'll contact them and to see what they think and move forward, and I'll report back.
Okay, thank you.
Do you know, ask a question?
Yes.
Do you know if we're gonna have a new restaurant open on Saturday? Are they opening Saturday?
Not this Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Um, I actually convinced, you're talking about the Backstop Grill. I convinced the owner of the building, Georgie Cam, to let me in today. And so I got to do a quick run through, and it looks really good, and they're working very hard. They're hoping to be open, I believe, the week of the 24th. That's the target week.
birthday to me.
So, yeah, so it's coming up pretty soon here, and as soon as I have more information, I will put that information in the newsletter and make sure that I get it out to everybody, but it's looking really good.
Yeah, Greg, I ended up down there just a few minutes after you were here and met the owner, Ken.
He's a great guy.
And they're eventually going to move to Canby. They just love it. And they're doing some wonderful things to it. They're going to keep the floors, the wonderful old floors, and the redesign on the bar back in the banquet room is wonderful. And I guess it's fortuitous then that our city employees will be that much closer to it during construction of the library.
No comment.
All right. Any more for Jamie? Thanks,
Thank you.
Jamie.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you very much.
Renata?
So I'm going to give you the economic development update. We had a great meeting last Monday with commercial and industrial property owners. We invited all of them to a meeting at the police station on June 4th, and they received a presentation, kind of an overview by me, and then an introduction to the Certified Industrial Site Program, which many of them have participated in the past, by the Business Oregon representative, Sierra Gardner. And then Jamie Jonk presented a new program that Clackamas County is doing. It's an online GIS presentation of all of the vacant and available sites. Property owners have received a letter asking them whether they want to participate or not, and if they don't, their site won't be listed. But if they do, each site will have not only an aerial photo, but a lot of additional information about the site, which makes it much more attractive to potential buyers or developers that are looking at it. This is unique in the state of Oregon, and we're very excited to be able to partner with the county on this project. The county GIS mapping will become live in the beginning of July, and once that's available, I'll send you the link so you can take a look. And in terms of the certification process, the project team, which is the county and the state, as well as me, will be meeting on June 24th to chart the next steps. The next logical step would be to meet with all of the property owners that have said that they want to be involved in the program, and we believe that quite a few of them will be, and begin collecting information. The property owners need to provide a letter saying that the property is indeed for sale and this is the price, and they commit to that price. There's a letter from the city verifying the various infrastructure available and commitment to the program, et cetera. At the end of the day, there's a notebook that's about this thick that results from the process, and it gets reviewed by a third-party independent reviewer, and they provide their stamp that says, yes, indeed, this information is accurate, and it is very helpful to potential buyers to know that there's all this information about the site. It's taking the part of the burden of due diligence off of the buyer's shoulders. They can look at this notebook and know that there's no environmental issues, or they know exactly what their environmental issues are. They know what the zoning says. They know what the site is intended for. They know the infrastructure, et cetera. So anyway, we're excited about relaunching the project. Canby was the second community in the state to take advantage of the program when it was first launched. I believe it was in 2004, and then they recertified additional sites back in 2009. But there's an expiration date, and that date has come, and so it's time to go out again. And the intent is to be as inclusive as possible to, all the properties that want to be part, we welcome them. So that's the idea. On my plate for this month is to launch the inaugural edition of a development-oriented newsletter. The intent of the newsletter is to inform property owners, real estate brokers, developers, community leaders about what's going on in the development realm in Canby. So in the inaugural edition, our chamber president, Gina Hosford, will be creating an article about what's happening in the residential real estate realm. And then Jeff Brooks, who is our real estate representative for the 6-acre site in the industrial park, will be enlightening us about trends and happenings in the industrial real estate section. We'll invite, I'll interview Amy Nagoyan with Dragonberry Produce to talk about why she chose Canby and why it's such a great location and that kind of thing. So I envision it to be, 2 to 3 pages, put some summary real estate statistics in there, and it'll be issued every 6 months, because that's about a good amount of time to show progress and interesting things that are happening in Canby. We'll also feature new developments, new expansions. There are a couple of businesses in town that are expanding. The whole intent is to say, things are happening here, take a look. Consider investing here, considering moving here, considering expanding here. And kind of raise general awareness about what we have to offer. So we'll be looking for that toward the end of June is when we would be getting that out to the world. I mentioned website updates. We do have new 2012 and 2013 demographics online. We are looking to make it more mobile app friendly, to be easier to see on our Explore Canby app, and we continue to update information. Another section we've added is reports. So a lot of the reports I've been sharing with you over time can now be found on our website, etc. The Canby Industrial Forum is going to be alive and continue on next year. This will be our 3rd year partnering with the Chamber of Commerce on that. We have some dates that are mentioned: October 16th, February 19th, and March 21st. We're in the process of working with industrial businesses to nail down dates and topics. This is also a partnership with the Oregon Manufacturing Extension Partnership, and they've provided a list of 6 to 7 topics that the businesses could choose from, the one that's the best fit for them. So I'll get more information to you once those locations are locked down. We have a new GIS intern coming our way, Jamie Taylor. She is in her final term at Clackamas Community College with a GIS specialty. She's coming to us for free. She's going to share 16 hours a week with us, and she'll be doing a lot of mapping. My vision is for a development atlas of our commercial and industrial properties. That would be one of her projects. She'll also be helping Jamie with the visitor information kiosk at the fair and some Main Street mapping. So we're excited.
So in a three-person office, how are you going to keep Jamie and Jamie separate?
Probably the last Jamie in the choir. I'm not sure which one I'll be. The one who had 100 cups of coffee today and the one who probably stuck to one.
Her name is spelled Jaymiee. So,
Yeah, I see that, but it sounds the same.
It does. So. And then I had shared with you that we had applied for a 3D design grant. Happy to announce that we received the funding and met with the property owner this month, and the design work is underway for Canby Rental. They're looking at a 2-story building to cover the entire footprint of their site. So we're very excited to see what they come up with. And then like to, let's see, downtown business assistance at the encouragement of the Chamber of Commerce director. A team of us met several weeks ago to see what kinds of resources could be brought to bear to some of our struggling downtown businesses. As a result of that, I reached out to the Small Business Development Center director, and he's happy to meet one-on-one to provide specific consulting and advice to help them weather the storm. So that's underway, and there's a handful of businesses that would be interested, I think, in learning how they can be more successful, and we would love to see them continue on. To keep you up to date on very latest, since the last report you have in your packet, a couple of new things have evolved. We're looking at following up on the economic development strategy of pulling together industry clusters. The first one will be the metals industry cluster, and we're looking to pull together a group of our, hopefully, 21 metals companies sometime in the mid-July timeframe. We're looking for this to be a morning meeting, say 7:30 to 9 at the police facility. Clackamas County has generously offered to sponsor the breakfast, so that's a nice partnership with them. It's designed to be very much a discussion among the businesses. We're not looking to talk at them very much. We'll introduce, hopefully the mayor would be there to welcome, and we would ask an industry leader to chair, perhaps John Weber from Product Manufacturing or Jerry Turner from Pioneer Pumps, someone that is in the industry, so it's a business-to-business kind of a conversation. The goal would be to find out what are some of the barriers, some of the challenges that they're dealing with. Are they expanding? Are there some tools and resources that might be helpful to them? Maybe there's some programs that they don't know about that would be a good fit for them, and just see where the conversation goes. If everything's fine, that's fabulous. If it isn't, which I suspect there might be some issues, there may be some ways that we can help. There may be some, it may be beyond our control, but at least we've reached out to them and are looking to support them where we can. So be watching for more about that. To follow up on the conversation that was held at City Council last week around the hotel issue, we would like to have an updated hotel study, actually a lodging study, not limited just to hotels. The 2009 report was pretty negative about the demand, and we've since learned that 2009 was the worst year for hotels everywhere, and that information is really not current. The market has come back some, and especially the investor climate is much stronger now. It's possible to get financing for hotels, or whatever it might be, now that wasn't there in 2009. So we want to take a fresh look. We want to try and quantify some of the demand that study did not approach. For instance, visitors at the event center, visitors for many of our local happenings that attract tourists that might want to stay in Canby. And so we have approached Mary Bosch, who recently authored the 2012 hotel study, or the lodging study for Clackamas County. And I have a copy of it here, if anyone would like to see it. It's very well done and informative, or I can email it to you if you'd like. But anyway, it's a nice piece. And we would be looking to quantify demand, like I said. Also look at RV space and see what that could entail, what the cost might be, likely locations, that kind of thing. Explore bed and breakfasts, and just kind of take a deeper look at it. So that's...
We had Mary do another study for us recently, didn't we?
We did. She did the retail study.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Mr. Chairman. Yeah, this is one of these things that I've been pushing because I believe the geometric payoffs are huge by having people who spend the night and then wake up the next morning and go to breakfast or stay the night and have dinner and drinks and that sort of thing, that it just has a huge ripple effect. And this is something that when I was asking about the 2009 study, people were saying, well, it didn't turn out very well, it didn't look very well. And it didn't take very long looking into the inputs into that to realize that this was what I call a theoretical study, a city the size of Canby. It did not look at the number of people at all who come to our event center, not a bit. How many people come here, stay overnight. It did not take a look at the number of tournaments that come here, that are multi-day tournaments that people have to return to the next day. You know, they've got to stay somewhere. So those inputs were not ground into the study. Now, I'm not saying that an actual study will show that somebody can make gold, but I'm just saying that this study that's been kicked around and said, well, yeah, back in '09, it showed that it wouldn't be feasible. I think that was a flawed study. I don't think that had the inputs in it that are necessary for us to come up with a real number.
And times have changed, definitely, since then. Another thing we're going to ask Mary to look at is suggestions on potential hotel sites in addition to where our existing hotel is, and what the options are. So should there be a hotel developer that's interested in looking at Canby, we can demonstrate demand and demonstrate options. So that's the intent. She'll be developing a scope of work for us, and we hope to get that at the end of the week. And then to update you on a proposal that I'd put in for business recruitment, Project Freedom. That was an advanced energy firm that was looking to invest $125 million and needed rail service. We've heard, so I'll quote from the email that we received from the state. I've been informed by the client that Project Freedom cannot meet its stated timeline on the request for information and is currently being delayed by 6 to 9 months. The client will not be making any decision during this time. I will be sure to let you know if anything changes. So basically it's on hold. It doesn't mean we're out of the running at all. So that concludes my report.
Mr. Chair. The hotel feasibility study, we've asked Mary to give us a scope of work, but also a price. We would come back, obviously, and get permission to go forward from this body. So.
Okay.
And it might be from the city council or urban renewal, but either way, I think it'd be okay.
Okay.
Maybe the chamber would want to kick in too, since
Kick in too?
Mr. Chairman, can I?
Also.
Yes.
Just going to ask Renata, isn't the American Legion there kind of just getting rolling on their facade improvement, is that right?
Absolutely. It's under construction now.
Okay, and then would you have any idea what their hope to be finished might?
It's a pretty aggressive time frame. I would think within a month or so.
It's coming right
Yeah.
along.
Did anybody expect to find that ceramic tile under the facade that was on?
They never mention it, but it's nice, isn't it?
It caught my eye, and I thought, that's real glazed ceramic tile under the false front that had been put on that building.
Yeah.
And the Advantage Mortgage, that, do you know the expectation of completion on that one?
We haven't heard, but we can check and let you know.
Well, thank you very much.
All I know is I've been hearing a lot of hammering and nail guns going on, so soon, I hope.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Renata. Urban renewal update. Is that you?
I would like to announce, if I could, what we talked about earlier, and I met with Matt Michael today, and he gave me a purchase and sale agreement that was signed by Chairman of Canby Utility Board, Mr. Bob Cornelius. So we have an agreement from Canby Utility, and we're bringing that to the agency on a special meeting next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that going to be before or after the council meeting?
That was after the council meeting.
Yeah, okay. All right, sounds good. Anything else?
That's all I have. Thank you.
Anything from the commission?
No, sir.
Anything else from our visitor?
Our visitor.
From our citizen? Then I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that.
A motion by Commissioner Ryder, second by Commissioner Hensley to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And we are adjourned. Good night.
That was a loud.